Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
Not gonna work, Herb.
My goal is to break you every time. One day I'm gonna
You got me last week on your birthday. You froze up, and I was wondering if it was my connection. I even scrolled up. I scrolled up to check my Wi-Fi. I was like, my Wi-Fi is good. I'm good here. And then you broke out of it, and I felt so bad. I was like, I can't believe he got me with the okie doke. I can't believe it.
Is it rough having your brother on the podcast with you? Would you know?
That's a good question. Some people think it is, but for us, it's just so natural. We just know how we bump off each other. We know how to take each other. It's all good. It's fun. It's all fun.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it as much, but I'm glad there's some enjoyment for you. Appreciate it. So, of course, it's a weird night on the Bama Standard with guests being moved around. So why should we be any different? Weird night here. Our Texas guest is out of power. That's out of power, like he ran out. He lost his power on the sidewalk. No, having some issues. So just messaged us a little while ago. So there's going to be a little bit of stall tactics on here because we're going to wait to see if they get on. And if they can't, we will just go ahead with the Texas stuff. And they've kind of offered to come back on. So if they can't make it in tonight, we will get them on.
We'll figure it out.
Saturday, but we'll figure it out. We can't guarantee anything yet because Texas is one of the most, sought after programs as far as like, hey, we want to talk to these people. They were asking them questions left and right. So that'd be a good one. So but instead, good buddy hit us up and said, hey, I heard y'all was in some trouble. Yeah. Did y'all need somebody way smarter than you guys to come on the show and kind of talk about it?
He put on the Superman cape and said, listen, I'm here to save the day. Y'all don't have to worry about being slow or bummed out tonight. I am here to save the day. So with no further ado, I'll let Herb do the introduction.
There's one more further ado. He's one of his voice is very mellifluous if you are an Alabama fan.
What does that word mean, Herb? What does that word mean, Herb? What does that word mean?
It means you love his voice. It is very sweet and pleasing to the ear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So back up off me, Rodgerick.
Or Rodgerick.
Rodgerick. What's up, Steve? Were you watching us fight? And Stephen M's like, I don't know if I want to jump in.
No, he just heard that word and he was like, what in the world does that mean?
No, I guarantee you he knew that one off the jump.
Yeah.
What's up,
Stephen? And how you doing? Oh, he's on mute.
No, he's mute. You muted yourself, Stephen.
You're muted.
Okay. Here we go. I'm here now. What's up? What's up? Look, I was trying to make sure I got my word of the night right because I had to rehearse. It. So I was trying to make sure I got my word of the night, which will be slid in at some point. But I had to get that last little bit of rehearsing in. But fellas, how we doing?
We're doing good, man. Good. Thank you again. Thank you for having us, or thank you for joining us on this short notice. We really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been a joy here, just being a part of the Bama Standard Network, Bama Standard family. I know Bama Visions has been moved to Wednesday now. There's some work things I've been doing. So Wednesday mornings, Bama Vision. Of course, if y'all go to the BamaStandard.com, I've been putting articles out at the bakery. So these articles are flowing out there, BamaStandard.com. But good to be right here. And even if the Texas guy is not able to walk in, I can fill in some stuff about Arch Manning. I got Arch's phone number actually right now. So I can fill in some stuff about Arch Manning.
Okay.
Hopefully we get some Texas folks rolling in here because I'd love to hear them tell us a little bit. I see one of our buddies in there, but we'll go down the usual suspects list. What's up, Kat? Roll Tide to you tonight. And yes, please hit the like and subscribe. We've kind of stalled out at about 3:33. And our buddy Big Mike keeps talking about how much he's growing, how much better he is than us. So we got to try to stay a little bit ahead of him. He's not wrong, but it would be nice to stay ahead of him a little bit there. What's up, Lady Alpha? Roll Tide, the Alpha Pool.
Shout out to Lady Alpha. We appreciate y'all for joining us.
Carol, our favorite Georgia Bulldog.
Thank you
the house as always.
for joining us, Carol.
What's up, Big Mike?
Big Mike.
Me and Mike are heading out to eat tomorrow night. It's always a task when you head out with Big Mike because you got to try and find places that don't have too big of crowds because they always gather around him. They start signing autographs. You don't get the food for hours. It is a madhouse. So you got to plan ahead when you go out with Big Mike. And I know y'all the wrestling ones kicking out at 2. I at least put them on there and gave them a like and subscribe since they're on the same time. I want to know what the big announcement is though. So if somebody's gonna fill me in. This heck I can do it. Never a problem with us. Never a problem with us. And what's up, man? Okay. All right, Raj.
Okay. Be right back.
Yep. What's up, Garrett? Our Texas fan. Sorry, we're gonna try and get you some Texas content here in a minute. Yep, Stephen M. He always knows the assignment. He is always. I remember you came in 5 minutes before the Oklahoma show, and you were kicking us off with softball stuff. I said, this man knows everything.
Man, I'm just saying, but I will say this though, and I don't want to. I wanted to wait on Raj, but since Raj has popped out for a moment, you want to know what would be very pernicious? Yeah, very pernicious would be if Kalen DeBoer loses the Tennessee game again.
Oh Lord,
that'd be pernicious. That'd be a very,
especially given the circumstances.
Yeah, if he loses the Tennessee game again,
oh Lord,
especially where it is on the schedule, that will be harmful.
Yeah,
the patience would run out the window at that point.
Yeah,
if he loses that game.
Why'd you pick that game in particular? Because I could think like if he loses the Vanderbilt game, the
reason why I picked that game in particular is, let's just say, and I'm not saying this will happen, but let's just say if Alabama was to lose to Georgia by a field goal, and Bama fans would be disappointed, but it's like, that's Kirby Smart. You're in Georgia. They're one of the top programs. You wouldn't feel as bad. You would be sad, but it wouldn't be like DEFCON 1 about to jump off a building.
Right.
If you come back the next week at home, though, and you fall to a Tennessee team with no Nico Iamaleava, then it becomes burn every couch in my house. Kalen DeBoer is not it. What in the world is going on? Yeah. The patience runs out the window fast.
That's true. There's little room for error. And like Stephen M. said, that Georgia law, if we were to lose the Georgia game, that's something that I could stomach a little better. But then you have to go on a nice little run after that and just go on a nice little win streak for the rest of the season. I can stomach that. But
right after Georgia, you've got Vandy and Mizzou, who people expect to be down. So
my thing is, you could lose close to, I'm not saying to do this, but you can lose close to Georgia and put the hammer on everybody else. And the fan base is like, okay, cool, I can live with that.
Exactly.
But you lose to Georgia, and let's say you beat Oklahoma, you beat Missouri, you beat Vandy, but then here comes Tennessee, you lose that one. Then after that, when here comes Lenore Sellers in South Carolina, you got to go to them. Then you come back home to host an LSU team with a Heisman contender and Garrett Nussmeier. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's very tough. So that Tennessee game becomes kind of the I gotta win pressure cooker. And in the last, 3 years, that game has kind of become a rivalry now because Tennessee won in 2022 with Hendon Hooker. Bama came back and won 23 with Jalen Milroe. And then Tennessee won last year, and Nico didn't even have a good game.
Nope. Right. I think it's one of those games when you're looking at the schedules and we like 10-2. I don't even consider us losing to Tennessee, to be honest.
Me either.
That is one you got to handle business at home for sure. To be up with LSU, way higher on that list. Tennessee is one of those kind of you better not overlook when you come in just because of the Nico drama. Because, we had a Tennessee guy on the show, and he was just as confident, honestly, in the next man than he was with the UCLA guy than he was with Nico. So I don't think anybody's going to feel sorry for Tennessee for sure, but you better be ready for that game if you're Alabama. You can't afford letdowns in year two, for sure.
No. especially with the weapons we have, and then the ball distribution from the QB's perspective. I just don't think some of these letdowns are going to happen. But to y'all's point, I mean, 10-2 is reasonable. I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
Herb,
what's up, Brian?
Go ahead. Herb,
just give me one quick second. I'm gonna catch us up real quick. Big Mike is a big celebrity for sure.
He is.
Sure. And what's up, TJ? Go ahead. Thanks for tuning in, TJ.
To get to Cat's point, give me a moment, Cat, to get Big Sam's name correct. I need some weeks here this off season to get that name properly down, because I remember when Tua Tagovailoa first came, I was calling him Double T in the morning for a long time until finally I was able to get Tagovailoa, and I'm like, yes, finally. Took a minute. So give me some weeks, Cat, as I get this SAT pronunciation down of Sam's name here, so I can have that in order.
For right now, we can just call him Big Sam, right? We can do that.
For right now, we can call him Big Sam. We'll call him Big Sam U for right now. Big Sam U. Until we're fluent. We're fluent in this pronunciation.
Agreed.
Let's see. I'm very interested about this the announcement. So, and King Attitude has always been really good to us. Michael pops in a lot of times, so we get to see him. There you go. One of our good buddies from it's been a minute. What's up, Hoda? Good to see you, man. He had to come in with the horns down, fists flying. So and I appreciate that. Raj, just the honor of being his brother is always great. But yes, Raj always gets me good stuff and threw me a good birthday bash. So I am the lucky one here. He said Oklahoma is kind of happy we come here after the LSU game. So we thought Tua was full name. Yep. So one of the topics though that we kind of we're talking about with Filler Stephen M. How impressed have you been lately with Alabama on the recruiting trail?
Very, and it just shows you Kalen DeBoer can recruit. Like that was the main concern for a lot of people. He's always been a guy up there in the Dakotas. Does he understand the Southeastern Conference? Does he have a firm idea of what shrimp and grits are? Has he drank sweet tea before? I mean, people had this notion that DeBoer couldn't recruit the South. He's doing it. This 2026 class is starting to look like maybe the best class Alabama's ever brought in, period. And that's saying a lot when you look at the guy prior to Kalen DeBoer, Nick Saban, who brought in top talent after top talent after top talent, which was convincingly just about every year. And you look at this class DeBoer is bringing in, you're going, holy cow.
Yeah.
But all of these kids are looking at this going, if DeBoer takes this group and gets into the college football playoff, you can pop the cork off the bottle. Alabama's still Alabama. Because that's what all of these kids are waiting on. Can DeBoer get this group to the playoff? If he gets this group in the playoff, the cork's off the bottle, Alabama's back scaring the daylights out of everybody in college football. And you are correct, Cat. Courtney Morgan deserves every penny because he's the Suge Knight behind the scenes bringing everybody in.
Yeah.
I hope we're not dangling anybody from buildings, though, or threatening anybody.
No, he's not doing that. He's the good version of Suge Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The business aspect of it.
Yeah, you got a celebrity in the house. You always got to say what's up to Mia.
Anybody
who's married to JT and can keep JT under control.
Look, I have joined the JT Alliance with Mountain Dew. I've joined. He got me. Yeah. He got me. I've joined.
Mia, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Mike, I see what you did there. So this is what the kicking out at 2 announcement. So, Kat, this echoes something I think we talked about on Sunday night. Man, I love the way the players are getting involved. Yeah. And I think if you're another player and you're trying to join forces with somebody, and you see that person actually say, because I know me, I'd probably be like, I don't care about these new people coming to take my job. And these other people are like, we're welcoming you in. Come join the family. come win with us. Go ahead, Raj, first,
and it's not just current. Sorry to jump you, Stephen, and it's not just current players or players that who recently played. I mean, we saw a picture with Blake Sims taking a picture with the Xavier Griffin the other day. We remember Blake Sims. That was about 15 years ago. He was with the team 2010 to 14, led us to that Sugar Bowl game against that other team. That anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So you see pictures of somebody like Blake Sims, a quarterback, taking pictures with Xavier Griffin, or hopefully our future linebacker of the team. It's just awesome to see those type of things. And to Herb's point, you love seeing current players or future current players just getting in there and getting in with the pictures, telling guys like, hey man, it's pretty cool down here. We like the atmosphere, we like the vibe. They're going to treat you right, nice facilities, everything. You got the history, tradition, everything you have going on here. There's really no need to go anywhere else. But we all know how things are going to happen eventually. Some players will buy in, some players will end up going elsewhere. So we'll get what we can.
This takes me back to we all remember when Saban first came in 2007, and he had to weed some people out in the process that he had.
What? You have a celebrity in the house?
Oh, Bevo's here?
Bodyguard.
Bevo.
Yeah. Yes. Hey.
I feel like we've made it.
We've made this is the first time. This is the first time. First of all, Bevo, thank you for joining us. But this is the first time he's watched the Herb N Rodg podcast. As far as I know, the first time he's commented. So Bevo,
show's over for the night. Show's over.
We appreciate you, man.
It doesn't get any better than Bevo.
You have made the night.
Oh, Stephen M. I had to acknowledge that.
No issue there. I appreciate Bevo jumping in there. But this just takes me back to 2007 when Saban first got for Tuscaloosa, and he had to go through the weed them out process, and it was down to 13 Schumer guys that bought in and said, "Look, man, you are the guy. Take us to the promised land," and everybody just bought in. I look at this group, the Saban guys have bought all the way into the board. Like they're all in there. Ty Simpson's all in there, among the others that came with Saban. They're all in. And to see that happen with DeBoer, where we all kind of figured year 2, it's his team. He's putting his stamp on this entire offseason. We have seen a more focused Kalen DeBoer. But not just that, we've seen the more confident DeBoer because Ryan Grubb has come in here. Grubb has it's going to be a fun season, offensively and defensively. These recruits are excited because now you are seeing the full imprint of DeBoer on this entire team.
Agreed. And to touch on something you just said right now, are you more excited to see the offense this season or what the defense looks like this upcoming season?
Raj, to be honest, I'm torn. I really am torn because offensively, you've got 13 dogs at wide receiver. Oh my gosh. I'm torn. Offensively at running back, you got a legit two-headed with Jam and Richard Young, but then the third guy, it's a fight between Dre Washington and Daniel Hill. Yeah. And Daniel Hill is really good. Yeah. Like it is crazy. Yeah. I mean, the offensive
and that's not even
line,
going to AK Deer.
There's
a lot of teams out there that would love to have that.
I'm just saying, the offensive line is going to be a whole lot better. Yeah. And even though people look at tight end as a rough spot where you don't know what you have after Josh Cuevas, you can kind of mix and match at tight end and kind of cover that up a little bit.
Yeah. I think we've thrown a lot of darts at that one to say, we're going to just go with quantity.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm torn. And then defensively, another year in this Kane Womack defense for these guys. Quay Russaw, who looks incredible right now, has dropped 10 pounds. He looks like a force. James Smith looks like a force. I keep telling people, keep your eyes on Red Morgan. I don't know where he's going to end up. He can play corner. He can play husky. He can play safety. I don't know where he's going to fit in all of this. That kid added 8 pounds of muscle. He looked different. He was kind of scrawny coming out of Central Phoenix City High School. He don't look scrawny no more. That kid's put on some muscle.
He's about her size. He's about her size.
It's Herb, I'm torn. I mean, guys, I'm torn. I don't know. Both sides of the ball are going to be good. I'm torn.
Yeah. I'm an offensive guy, so I'm looking forward to. Oh, you got the other half of the celebrity crew, by the way.
Shout out to JT.
Shout out to JT.
Appreciate you for joining us,
boy. We got boy.
Cat, I don't think Jade Bake is around yet. He usually pops up in the last half hour. But Bevo's
or sometimes on Saturday nights he'll pop up. Yeah,
exactly, JT. That's why, we cheered him when he first got on here, man.
JT, we agree 1,000%, man. We know he is. He won't admit it, but we know he is. It's all good.
Yeah, that's fine. Anybody who goes to that many, he sees more Bama programs than I do. So you got to be a Bama fan. Bevo, that's why we love you, man. We appreciate you. So there's one part in there, though, Stephen M., that I did want to talk about Alabama. And sorry for anybody who's just now getting in here. Yes, this is the Texas Takeover. Our Texas guest has power issues. I would say he lost it on the street. Like he lost his wallet, he lost his power. We decided we're going to start off with a little bit of Alabama stuff just to give him a chance to get on. If not, we'll flip the switch in a few minutes here, and we'll go ahead and break down some Texas himself. We will try to get the guest on possibly as early as this Saturday, so you do get some official Texas stuff. But we're not trying to cheat anybody out of that. The thing to me that people have mentioned the most, and I put this on my notes when I found out we weren't going to have the offensive line. And we had what was that graphic from weeks ago where PFF had us ranked as the number one.
Yeah.
What do you think about all honesty, question marks, no question marks, whatever. What do you think about this Alabama offensive line going into this year?
I think it's good. I don't think it's one. I don't. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it can grow to be a really good group, but I wouldn't put it right there to start. The reason why, I mean, you know what you're getting from Parker Brailsford.
Mm-hmm.
You know kind of what you're getting from Caden Proctor. Although you do want to see that footwork become a bit cleaner.
Right.
Jaden Roberts, healthy, is a beast, but you want to see him healthy.
Yeah.
The parts that I kind of want to see grow at that left guard spot where it's Cam Dewberry, Geno Vandermark. I just want Cam Dewberry to take that spot and don't look back.
Right.
Yeah.
I want Cam Dewberry, and this is no offense to Geno. Cam's more physical. I want Dewberry to take that spot and don't look back. And then at right tackle, Wilkin Formby just pop. Just pop and become the guy. Because I like Arkell and Guam, the transfer from Ball State. I mean, he's got an All-American body type. But for Wilkin Formby, you should not just sit here and let a dude from Ball State come in here and take your job. Yeah. If you let a guy from Ball State come in here and take your job, there is something seriously wrong with you. Yeah. There is no reason this guy should come in and take your job. So my two questions are going to be Cam Dewberry, take left guard, Wilkin Formby, pop at right tackle.
Okay. We got one on each side.
Yeah. Raj, do you look like you had a question there, or do you want me to pop?
No question. No question. When you and I first discussed these rankings and when we saw them, I don't think either Herb or I agreed with number one at all. I felt like we have the potential to be near number one towards the end of the season, but there's some things that we need to work on. And as Alabama fans, we understand that. And some of them were ones that Stephen M. just pointed out. So we kind of want to see us get some work on. And let's be honest, as a fan, we don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, we got the number one overall offensive line. I want to see it first. Let me see after these first 3 or 4 games, especially game number 4 when we go to Athens. I want to see what our offensive line could do against that defensive line and see how strong they are.
Well, not necessarily that, Raj. I want to see what this offensive line does week 1 against Florida State, because that's going to be a much improved defense. Mike Norvell is coaching for his life right now. Keep in mind. So, I mean, I want to see how this offensive line looks against Florida State out the gate week 1 in Tallahassee. But
what do you think about what Kat's asking too? What about the depth on this whole line?
The depth is actually strong. When you look at, you still got guys that came in that house of 2023 offensive linemen. You still have Ola Sanganin. You still have Rock Montgomery. I mean, you still have guys from this 2024 group when you talk about Joseph Ayanada. You still have Big Will Sanders, Casey Poe. I mean, you got nothing but depth on this offensive line. You got the guys. Like I mentioned, Geno Van Mark's on this line. You've got the depth. The main thing is your starters. Having your starters ready to go. And that's Chris Kaplowitz. Having this starting five, whoever the starting five ends up being, they got to be on attack mode from the jump. Because Alabama fans, they want to get back to when can we have that 2012 like offensive line again, and how special it was having a Barrett Jones, having a DJ Fluker, having a Cyrus Quanjo, having a Chance Warmack, having guys you knew the moment that ball was snapped, you knew your quarterback was protected, you're going to run the football, and there was nothing the opposition could really do about it. So can you get back to having somewhat of a resemblance to that group? Is what Alabama fans want to see. So the big thing here is you got the depth, the starting five, do your job.
Yeah. Agree.
Fair enough.
Good comment there from Mike. Hope so. Here's one, because I'd almost forgotten this name already.
Me too. I forgot to transfer
the line. What Stephen, what do you think? Pritchett. That's the name.
My take on Elijah Pritchett. Good run blocker, inconsistent in pass protection. Gets beat a lot in pass pro. And that's the thing. Pritchett has got to work on pass pro. That was his problem at Alabama. Could run block pretty well. Pass pro, that was a problem for him. And with him at Nebraska, that's going to be something that the Cornhuskers are going to have to work with him on. As a run blocker, Pritchett will get after you. He'll maul you to the ground. But if you're asking Pritchett, hey, move your feet and pass pro, lock up these speedy edge rushers, whether they be defensive ends or outside linebackers, and prevent your quarterback from getting drilled, that's an issue for Pritchett at times.
Mm-hmm. I'd honestly forgot he went to Nebraska. I was like, oh yeah, that's how bad. And that's no.
I honestly to Nebraska.
I it's just
no.
Guys transfer. Too. Yeah, it's just kind of out of my head.
So, yeah.
So we've hit that mark, kind of halfway through. Don't look like Ghost is going to be able to make it tonight. Yeah. Like I said, we will try to get him rescheduled on here. But the question that you always have to start with Texas. Right, and I'll get both of y'all's answers. Rod, we'll start with you and then go with Stephen M to close it on this one. The Arch Manning hype. Yeah. I mean, is it warranted? I mean, number one in the Heisman odds. You've only seen him in spot duty over the years. Still didn't beat out Quinn Ewers. Like, where do you land on this whole thing?
I don't think it's warranted yet. I think the last name is pretty much everything that's carrying it right now. And you made a good point. I think you said this previously, is that if he was this good, wouldn't they have put him in some games last season? I know Quinn Ewers was starting quarterback, but they put him in against Georgia and some other games where he just ran the ball. It didn't really do too much. So he has a lot to prove. Heisman hype game. Well, let's just take game one, for example. They're playing in Columbus, game one, defending national champions. I need to pull up the line. I don't even know what the line is for that game, but that's going to be a tough place to prove yourself. Obviously, Ohio State lost some guys to the draft. We get it, but they still have a guy by the name of Caleb Downs back there in their secondary, and they got some pretty exactly. They got some pretty big guys up front on their D-line as well. So Arch is going to have to prove himself in that game. He's got a lot to prove throughout the season. We've heard a lot of talk from Texas, and people have said that they were still one of the more dominant teams in the SEC. They lost twice to Georgia last year, didn't win the SEC championship. There's a lot to prove on Texas.
I'm seeing Texas minus 2.5, Raj.
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought Ohio State would be favored, but I guess that line speaks more to the volumes of what Arch Manning is supposed to be and how he's supposed to produce that game. It's going to be obviously him versus, I'm assuming it's going to be Julian Sayin starting for Ohio State. But to answer your initial question, I think that it's the last name that's carrying him right now, and he's got a lot to prove.
Texas wants to be back so badly. They're putting it all on Arch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are putting the whole house on. You have to be the one to get us back. And to get us back to a place we haven't been since Vince Young. And that's being a national champion. we're putting this Arch on you. There's a lot of pressure on Arch because it's not just for him getting Texas back. That plays a piece of it. It's not just the Heisman. That plays a piece of it. But you got folks looking at Arch as the next first-round pick quarterback as well. You got people looking at Arch as the next number 1 overall pick. There's a lot that's weighing, on this young man's shoulders. Now, of course, yes, you've got the pedigree when Archie Manning is your grandfather, and you got Peyton and Eli as your uncles. Your father, Cooper Manning, could have played if not for a health issue there.
Yeah.
But I look at with Texas, the biggest thing is they want to believe that Arch can get this program back to being a national champion. And it's a lot on him. It's a lot on him. He's got to prove it week 1. He's got to prove it the whole season, but it's a lot on him.
Yeah. You can tell you're new to the SEC, by the way, when you keep trying to hype up your player versus Mississippi State and think that's going to grab everybody's attention. That's not the brag you think it is.
Let's be honest. His numbers in the Mississippi State were good. He threw over 300 yards and had 2 touchdowns. But again, it's to Herb's point. It's against Mississippi State. We're not talking about Georgia or somebody else. You're talking about Mississippi State. They didn't have a great season last year. Their defense wasn't that great. So
yeah. I
don't know how to hold that point.
Yeah. And Brian makes a good point with it. That's like he said, Raj said it earlier, man. The name is carrying a lot of it. Now look, could he come out here and light the world on fire? Absolutely.
He could.
The number 1 in the Heisman odds and the number 1 draft pick already. Okay, so yeah, I gotta see him in a full schedule.
Yeah.
And then Carol's talking about the Texas fans. Were we doing our show when we first had our Texas games? Because I don't remember us.
No, I don't think so.
To cross over too much.
I don't think so.
And Cat and the Saints, we're not taking for Arch. She said the Saints will be taking, but it won't be for Arch. Sorry, Cat. I know it's rough for you already as a Saints fan.
Look, Cat. All I can say for you is kudos to Kool-Aid McKinstry taking Derek Carr's number. Kudos to Kool-Aid for doing that.
Well, I said the deer in the headlights. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he realized how rough that first season is actually going to be, the full season. So,
yeah.
Brian's now, Brian is an Oklahoma fan, so you do got to take this a little bit. But Brian usually does shoot you straight, too, as well. So,
yeah.
That's going to be interesting. And, Raj, you kind of already brought it up. What a way to start at Ohio State. Oh, well, hold up. Oh. Kat, I don't know if you're meant to post this, tell everybody, or what. That sounds a little personal.
Okay.
Are y'all surprised? And I just looked up that line. Maybe I even looked it up wrong. Are y'all surprised that they would have Texas favored at Ohio State to start the year?
I was a little surprised just because Ohio State being at home, and I understand they lost some people to the draft on both sides of the ball, but I still thought they would be favored by 2 or 3 in this game. But again, you said it's negative 2.5 for Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Not much. Not much.
I think Vegas did this because they believe that Ohio State's going to have the national championship hangover.
Okay. Could be it. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be an interesting game to watch, and that is our 11 o'clock game, and we already found out today that's going to be Lee Corso's last college game day. So trying to tune into that one too.
What's up, Charmaine?
Good evening, Charmaine. Thank you for having us. Thank you for joining us.
Like we doing it from our living room. Is that what it is? Yeah. But again, the schedule for Texas, and of course, it just flipped from last year. You don't see too many landmines here. You get past Ohio State. You open up your SEC play with Florida. I know we're all hyping up Florida with the Lagway thing, but that's your only real test. When you come in there, what do you guys think about that? Getting to October. I like this.
5 losses for Texas. All right.
Yeah, where you got them at, Ryan? Steven, and what's your initial thoughts at Florida? You still got to see some stuff in Florida?
That was going to be tough going to the Swamp to take on Lagway, who's improved.
And keep in mind, Florida had a top, according to PFF, Florida has a top 5 offensive line, and their defensive line is supposed to look good too. So they're going to be better at both sides of the ball. So again, to Steven's point, if Lagway can be healthy, stay healthy that game, that's going to be a close.
The Florida game is intriguing. I'll say this: Saturday, November 1st at Vandy is very intriguing. And the only reason I say this is Vandy only lost by 3 to Texas last year in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go to Vanderbilt with the cocky Diego Pavia back at quarterback. And that game is in Nash Vegas. November 1st is intriguing.
And they got Georgia again. We saw, what happened last year with them in Georgia. Arkansas and the A&M. The A&M game always, that can come down to the wire. That's a rivalry game.
So, 1,000% agreed on that one.
Yes.
For sure. We hope to do that. So let's see. And what's up, Faith? Happy to
Faith,
see
thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Alabama Standard stuff. Yep. We would love it if San Jose State somehow won that game, by the way. So,
oh my gosh.
Hold on. Well,
people would go bonkers.
At Ohio State, at Florida, Oklahoma. Is the Oklahoma game biased, or you actually think we're going to win this year? Red River rivalry. And then Georgia and A&M. I think they definitely lose Georgia and Ohio State. That's the two that jump out to me for Texas. So
my fault. The Vanderbilt game is in Austin, not in Nash Vegas. However, still you did with Diego Pavia. Regardless,
yes, that could be a close one. Could be a close one.
They played him tough last year. So what are y'all official predictions?
I'm going to say Ohio State wins that first one, or excuse me, Texas loses the first one. I think they also lose. I would say I'm going to go 9-3. I'm going to say Ohio State, Georgia. I'm going to say at Florida. I'm going to pick the at Florida game. I'm going to go with 9-3.
I'm going 8-4.
Oh, where's your fourth one other than
I don't know. Ohio State. I like Ohio State and Georgia off the jump. I think they will somewhere in the Florida to even Kentucky and Mississippi State. Somewhere in that 4, they lose one. And then they either lose to Arkansas or Texas A&M.
If Kentucky had an ounce of offense this year, they can make that game somewhat competitive.
Yeah.
Competitive. I think I just made up a word.
Did you?
They can make that somewhat competitive. I'm sorry about that. I was thinking about two different things. But we saw what Kentucky did last year. Even when they played Georgia, they came close to being Georgia, but they just had absolutely no offense at all, just all defense. So
yeah.
And keep in mind they got Kendrick Law. I don't know if Kendrick Law is going to help out.
Wow.
I see.
You're only saying that because we had a Kentucky episode. You're just hoping for the best.
I had to hold it for that.
Man, look, I see 10-2. I think Ohio State gets that first game from Texas. And I mean, going down to Florida in the swamp or to face that team that's going to come in with a lot of I think Florida takes that one in the swamp.
I don't trust Florida. We'll see very early on. The schedule is still tough, and we're basing a lot of Florida predictions on Lagway. So so you think they go to Georgia and win?
I think they go to Georgia and win. The only reason I think they go to Georgia and win. Georgia quarterback of Gunner. I'm not sure on him either.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit more sure on Arch than I am Gunner.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
I'm gonna say my pushback on that one is how late in the year it is. I think Mark figures something out by then. That's why I'm still taking Georgia to win that one. If it was fourth game like it is with us, and they didn't, they were still figuring out, trying to see what's going on. But I think by then, Kirby will figure it out some with Gunner. I think he has the defense to slow down Texas's offense. I think he's already proven that. So I think he's going to go in that game plan with if Gunner is the guy, then they'll be fine. If Gunner's not the guy, they'll figure out a way to get by.
Yep.
I think they get that one. So that's why I'm taking Georgia in that one. So it'll be interesting to see. And it'll be interesting to see if we pick these same things in a month from now when we do the SEC pick. But,
breakdown.
Steven, you got something else?
Oh no, man! I'm just having fun with the fans here in the chat, especially Bevo.
When Bevo arrived, that's when I was like, we've arrived.
I just want to meet Bevo in person and just shake his hand and say, hey man, what you doing? Why are you wearing all this Alabama Crimson Tide gear, man? I see the license plate over there. You got the hat on. I knew you were a Bama fan. It's okay. Come on out, man. All right.
I have not tuned into a single Texas broadcast unless that person is a guest and I'm trying to feel them out first. So no. Let's catch up though, since I think y'all are seeing stuff I'm not seeing. Yep, Diego's I mean, you still playing Vandy, man. I know you got us last year, but I'd be a little bit careful about getting too full of ourselves. So,
yeah.
Brian said he does think Oklahoma's going to win this one, so I think you have the better QB. Wow. I had to read that one twice. You think you have the better QB? Okay.
Is it safe to say that Mateer has proved himself more than Arch?
I mean, I guess yes.
Yeah.
But only, sample size, I guess. You kind of have to say yes to that one, right?
Okay.
So, and on the side note, Charmaine, I hate that also. So, but as somebody said on another show, last time Vandy was talking trash to Bama, it did not go well for them. So,
yeah.
Good as the best team and as bad as the worst. That means I think Vanderbilt can do some damage. Yeah, because your worst team is going to be Mississippi State, I think, or Kentucky if you're kind of going off of what happened last year. So, those are the teams really carrying up. Vandy, I think, could beat both of those teams right now.
It's crazy how Vandy has literally gone from, they're just the GPA kids to they can play football.
Yeah, I think transfer portal and stuff has really changed that. I think people are just really learning. You don't have to try and recruit a whole team. If I can get a couple key positions for a year or two, I can really slide by. I can make some noise.
Yeah.
So Bevo's mad that we're picking him. And this is Deontay. Is that a Texas fan in the house?
Probably so. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yep. Apologize for our Texas guests. No power weren't able to make it. Deontay, why don't you give us please first hit that like and subscribe button. Second, why don't you give us your prediction now that you got the Texas thing up on the screen?
Good to see all these Texas connoisseurs in the chat today. Not just Bevo, even though we know
hungry.
We know that Bevo is a Bama fan, but to help out Bevo, I guess.
Yeah. If Bevo ever said anything kind of relevant or just honest, I'd be, like, okay, let's take his opinion. But Bevo sounds like the guy's going to go 12-0. We're winning the whole thing like every single year. So we can't take that. So, Gunner will be more than enough. Yeah, Carol. Like I said, you'll figure it out by then too, though. So having that one late in the year, I'm surprised. I know this is flipping years, but I'm surprised Georgia and Tennessee play so early. That seems really, really weird to get that one out in like the third game. Well,
that is a September game. Yeah.
Nobody's seen Bevo in person.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's in his mom's basement and she doesn't let him out that much. Charmaine, what are the losses? What was I not supposed to say that, Raj? I love Bevo. That wasn't an insult. It wasn't an insult. I love Bevo. So a couple really good games at Texas. Now we have a legit OC and QB. I think it's time to pay back. Brian, we have to get you in here later on the year. Tell us or you might as well just tell us now since we've got time. What's Oklahoma's record this year? So, what else you got? Mateer's played an entire season.
That's why I said he's got a better sample size, more to look at. But
I'm putting this up here. Guess what? Bevo thinks that Texas is going 8-4 this year. And he can say I misquoted him, but I have it on the screen.
He just put that up. That's what he said. You didn't misquote him.
All right, Stuart. So what is first off? Thanks for popping in here. What is Texas' record going to be this year? So I love how everybody keeps saying it's nuts, but nobody's bringing out their positions. Are y'all just going to pick them to go undefeated? Is that why? So, and doesn't Texas? Oh, she said Oklahoma, Georgia, and A&M. I like the last two. I wouldn't be surprised at Arkansas getting them too.
That A&M game is going to get tricky. Trust me.
Yeah.
That rivalry game.
Because
and Mike Elko is a very good coach at A&M. Like, A&M finally realized, how do we get good? Let's let go of Jimbo Fisher, fire him, give him $76 million to go away, and get a real coach.
I wish Herb would give me that much to go away.
I'll give you 76 cents to go away.
Let's make it $1.
Nope, 76 cents is all I got.
Nope.
All I got.
All right.
Forget it. Stuart, who are the two losses? So Yeah, we're enjoying it though. I think they come crashing down this. Come crashing down this year. So we'll see. Look, if Arch comes out and he's the real deal in the Heisman, he's going to carry him a long way, no matter what happens in the Ohio State game. So, Carol, are you with me? Like, who are you picking as the losses? Anybody post a record, I want to know who the losses are. Yeah. I say that, but whenever I say Alabama's going 10-2, if you ask me to pick the 2 losses, I'm not picking them because I don't want to get anybody.
It's hard.
Man. Oh man.
Oh. I think the world is kind of praying for Texas to go like 6-6. Yeah. So this is the Oklahoma record, right? At South Carolina, at Bama, and LSU.
Okay. Is the OU LSU game, is that in OU or is that in LSU this year?
I can't remember which schedule I have up there. I don't think I've grabbed an Oklahoma schedule yet.
Brian, let us know. Let us know in the chat.
But here's an LSU schedule for you, Rod. So that'll tell you.
Okay. So let's see where am I
at Oklahoma to end the year. Okay.
All right. Pretty cool. Okay.
You're not allowed to say anyone is taking their team a long way except Lagway. That's why I love you, Brian. I mean, Mike. Oh my God.
Brian, what? What was that? Oh wow.
Well, I do love Brian. So Brian is actually supposed to come to town for the Yeah, Mike's not gonna let me forget it either. Brian's actually supposed to come to town for the Oklahoma-Alabama game, so we're supposed to treat him right.
Yeah,
better than Oklahoma treated Alabama when they got there. It really not. You already see the people in the chat upset that if we say 9-3, they're like 9-3, you idiots. So if they go undefeated,
bro,
they are not ready.
Bro,
Steven, what do you think about the addition though to Texas to the SEC? How do you think that's going? I
have enjoyed the additions of Texas and Oklahoma both. I really have, because it not just adds from the football aspect, it adds from the whole athletic venue, having both programs in. And then you have both programs in with good coaches. Steve Sarkisian is doing a fantastic job in Texas, and Brent Venables is proving that he can still get it done at OU, even with him being more so of a defensive mind. So I feel like both programs joining the SEC, it has been phenomenal. Now, I hate the fact that they did away with the SEC East and SEC West, and now it's just SEC. Kind of hate they did that. Kind of hate that it took away from, Alabama not being able to play Ole Miss every year, not being able to play Arkansas every year, and some of the games I actually enjoyed. But hey, it's cool.
I agree. Rod, you feel the same? Are you
Yep.
Rod is in Dallas, so I know it's not Austin, but he gets it worse than most as a Bama fan.
Well, I mean, because I work with a bunch of people that went to UT, they went to A&M, Oklahoma State, OU. So I hear it from all different ends, especially the A&M people. They get it going crazy, and they just cannot wait to play Texas at the end of the season. And every single year they tell me that they're going to beat Texas, and every single year it seems like Texas wins the game. But no, I hear it from all schools here in Texas. I'm used to it by now. I've been here for a while. So
let me get in some more of the schedule predictions. Like I said, anybody coming in late, we just had the Texas schedule up there. If you predict Texas schedule, we want to hear where you think the losses are. So
yep.
And I'll give the Texas people credit. Nobody said undefeated yet. Most of them look like 10-2 is what we got.
Raj, Herb, I got a question. If any Texas fan gets their schedule prediction absolutely right with the losses right as well, is there a prize being awarded?
I'll send them a title towel. Any Texas person that gets the correct one, you get a title towel. For everybody else that needs one, you go to whitwillsports.com.
Yes.
Put in the code standard to get your discount.
And if they receive the title towel, you have to take a picture, put it on social media, tag us in there. I don't care if you're a Texas fan. I want to see you holding that title towel. Bebo's bodyguard. This is your perfect chance to come on out. Wear your Alabama gear. Hold your title towel. We know you're a Bama fan. It's okay. This is your perfect chance. Get the record right. I'm looking forward to this.
Man, I done just started something.
Oh, people, and congratulations, man. And, thank you guys for winning that one in softball. I think Oklahoma let you borrow for a year, so congratulations.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Oh, yeah.
Patty Gas don't let y'all hold one.
Yeah.
Normally,
she already coming in with a record-breaking class already.
Normally Patty be eating those alive, but Patty didn't get y'all cop one.
Yeah. So congrats to that one. Texas the biggest fish in their pond. Yeah. Big year for Venables. He actually has an OC finally. Is Venables? Didn't we talk about this last year though? If this is another bad year, is this it for Venables? So.
And it seemed like we got mixed reactions regarding that question, Herb. Some people said yes, some people said no. So it seems like the reactions are mixed. Venables.
What's it, Venables? Yeah. So Steven, since we went to the Oklahoma game last year, and I think that's where Rodgers is referencing. Plus, after that, there were some interesting conversations about Venables, and not from us. We just sit back there watching, but there was. If it wasn't it was a lady who was like cussing everybody out. It was like at one point I was like, if she was a dude, I think this other guy would hit her. But I think they're very passionate about Venables up there on one side or the other. So
I'll say this.
Yeah, Charmaine. They also would beat somebody that they weren't supposed to. Bevo, look at Bevo, 10-2 at worst. This might be the most honest thing that. Who are the two losses to, Bevo? And how many articles of Alabama gear do you have?
I'll say
this cannot be your OC's name, by the way. That's a terrible name for an OC.
I was thinking the same thing. Ben Arbuckle.
It sounds like he makes shoes or like he's like a cobbler or something like that. Like I just don't see that one.
I will say this though about Venables. Venables being a defensive mind, this is a big year for him to have the OC right. And Arbuckle was actually really good. Arbuckle was actually not bad at all. So if they can get this thing offensively the way they want it to, Venables is going to buy him a few more years. Yeah. Arbuckle was not bad. I think Arbuckle was probably one of the more underrated OCs that people don't talk much about.
Yeah, and he's got Mateer up there. They're coming in over from Washington State, so they got a rapport going. So let's see what OU can do this year.
We got to put this on the head coach at Heupel this year. Heupel will be the head coach at OU this time next year. Save this. All right, Bevo.
Oh wow.
Bevo's actually made 2 intelligent comments, and all the rest of the hey, we're the greatest of all time.
Heupel ain't finna lead Tennessee. He ain't finna lead Tennessee, bro. Yeah. I'm telling you right now.
But hey, we're putting it on the screen.
We're gonna save it.
Save
if it happens.
So, we won't bring Marcos. Okay, Brian, I got you. Oh, here's Stewart's one. At UGA, because Stewart had 10-2 for Texas. At Georgia, maybe at Ohio State, but I don't think Florida is. Should have said 10-2 plus, but they are top tier defense. People need to get all arch. Yeah. I mean, we're not the ones hyping up the whole arch thing. We're just we're asking that question because, that's what it's been thrown out there. So it's a wait and see for sure.
It's not us.
I agree with this. And John Arbuckle, Garfield's owner, right?
Yeah, but it's not us hyping up the arch thing. It's literally Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
If you turn anywhere in Pro Football Focus's stuff, Arch is the number 1 quarterback. He's the number 1 Heisman guy. He's the number 1 for the NFL draft. Pro Football Focus. I don't know if they're living in the Manning's basement, but every other day, the Pro Football Focus is putting something out about Arch Manning.
Yep.
So they are the ones really driving the narrative.
Don't mess with Coach Arbuckle.
True. That's true.
All right, guys, we kind of got to the end. Stephen M., thank you for filling in. Again, we apologize. The Texas guest moved out, but Stephen M. was gracious enough to slide in and throw some knowledge at us before. We will try to get Ghost. He's been gracious enough to say, look, man, I'll make it up to y'all. We'll get him on anytime. Thank you for the Texas fans. I know I might be giving you crap, but honestly, we appreciate it. I think we made an extra post just to try and get some extra Texas people in here. Thank you for the schedule predictions. I like those too as well. We like y'all's breakdowns, and we like hearing from other fan bases, no matter what we do. And Bevo, we love you, brother. Man, like I said, we'll bring you a title towel. If you tell us where in Texas you are, or if you just tell us the truth and tell us where in Alabama you are, I will hand deliver a title towel to you. What you got, Steven?
Shout out to Bama's bodyguard.
Okay, so guys, in honor of this, I think my daughter wants to go into film directing. Or film producing, but she's already got Scene 1, Herb N Rodg Podcast.
Okay.
She's literally got it on the paper, and she's got the little and action.
Oh
right
my
there.
goodness!
It's like this is literally what she just did this whole time.
Okay.
Out Scene 1 of Herb N Rodg.
So this is why you were so composed today. She was helping you out, Stephen M. Is that what it was?
I mean, she's literally got paint and paint brushes and stuff, and there she is. She's literally got paint and paint brushes and stuff, drawing out the entire scene.
Yeah,
that is funny.
She was off camera. She was holding the light for Stephen M. And she was holding the light.
She literally had a cue card. She literally had a cue card. Okay, Dad. Next scene.
She's like, "Give me more. Give me more."
Yeah.
Literally. She was like, "Draw back the smile. No, draw it back. Draw it away."
Oh my goodness.
Which, by the way, not lost in all this. Drive-through zoo that's open. You can be excited called the Arbuckle. This just seems so on point.
She'll be actually helping me perform my next film, Gender Reveal.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this. All
right, Stephen M. With the last minute, I did have a couple questions. I don't know if Raj, if you have one as well, or you want to for Stephen M. You got one, Raj?
Yeah.
All right, you want to go first then?
All right. So since we're in the midst of summer and in the midst of recruiting for Alabama football, let's just say Netflix decided that they wanted to do a little documentary, maybe a 5-part series on one of Alabama's biggest recruits, and they needed you to follow him throughout his recruitment process, talk to him on a daily basis, get to know this guy better, all the way up to his announcement when he announces he wants to play at the Capstone. Out of all the big recruits we've had in years past, which recruit would you want to be able to follow on a daily basis and then be seen on this Netflix documentary, whether it's a 4- or 5-part series, whatever the case may be? Which recruit would you want to follow?
Oh my goodness! I mean, it's easy.
Yeah. I think I know what you're gonna say.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay. I was thinking Bryce, but you saying Tua. Okay, Tua. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Fair enough.
All right. I've got a goofy question for you. The work, play, live, ditch. All right. I'm gonna give you 4 names.
Okay.
All right.
You said what?
It's gonna be a goofy one. So you got to.
What's it called?
Work, play, live, ditch. I'm gonna give you 4
here we
names.
go. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
One to work with, one to go out on Friday night with, one to live with as your roommate, and one to ditch when they call you. Okay.
All right.
Superman.
Okay.
Lois Lane.
Okay.
Batman.
Okay.
Catwoman.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I was going. Never mind.
All right. So, all right. I would.
Randy's gonna hate that he missed this question too.
I would go to work with Superman.
Got to, right?
Because he would get it done. Work. I would go out with Batman, of course. I go with Batman. I would live with Catwoman.
No, Dad, you're
The Lois Lane, baby, you out.
Lois, we got to ditch Lois. Oh,
yeah.
Dad, you're gay.
Oh man, Raj, not where you thought that was going, huh?
Yeah, not necessarily, but I mean, hey, I see it. I wonder what hanging out with Batman would be like. What does Batman do? I mean, what are y'all gonna do?
If you can get the Bruce Wayne persona to come out,
we would literally, Raj, we would literally be just trolling the block, throwing up the bat symbol. Trolling the block, throwing up the bat symbol. That's it.
Lady Alpha,
I can see Stephen M tweeting about that. I can see Stephen M tweeting about the back signal. Just do up the back signal at 8:58 p.m. I don't know what's gonna happen.
You're right about that, Ross.
Oh my gosh, the bat symbol just went out. But it's cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, Stephen M. You mentioned the new morning. Tell everybody kind of what you're going on. If you want to tease what you're talking about tomorrow morning, or what else you got going on.
Like I said, so Bama Vision has moved from Monday to Wednesday. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just new day, same time slot, 9 a.m. It'll be tomorrow at 9 a.m. What we're talking about here is is the first topic. What does an off season under Kalen DeBoer look like? What does a championship caliber off season for Kalen DeBoer look like? So we knew under Nick Saban for those 17 years, you knew in the off season the big ingredient that would produce a national championship. We all kind of knew that. What does that look like under Kalen DeBoer? We're going to talk about that. That's going to be a fun conversation. That's the first one. Number two, we're going to get into former players that have been helping current players work out, train. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, having the former player influence back in this way, helping these current players train for the upcoming season?
I like that.
And last but not least, we'll get into a little bit of Quay Russo talk. Is he the new closer for Alabama's defense in terms of finishing sacks, finishing negative plays in the backfield? Can he do is he that next guy? Like we saw what the Courtney Upshaws did. We saw what the Donta Hightowers did. Will Anderson's 2021 season is still insane. 17 and a half sacks, 35 tackles for loss. That was just ridiculous. Is Quay kind of that next guy that can do that type of thing defensively in the scheme from Kane Womack?
I like it, sir.
Awesome.
Kat says she's looking forward to this, the instruction for Batman every time he enters the room. And I saw the announcement, and Mike had already teased it, but for our good friends over at Kicking Out at 2, they joined the Chair Shot Sports Media Group. Great one. John runs a great organization over there, man. A great group of folks. So congratulations to them as well. So appreciate it. I guess I'll let you. Brian, when are you going to be back on the wrestling podcast? Carol wants to know. And Bevo, nobody even mentioned it, so I don't even know why. Like you post that comment every single time there's a show. Yeah. Nobody's even talking about Saban. We're moved on from that. We're ready to go. So
absolutely,
Coach retires after. Yeah. Seeing them, like I said, man, appreciate you coming in last minute.
I'm telling you, I mean, she's got this film thing going. Like we in Sing 2 now.
For everybody else, we are going to endeavor to get Ghosts on here for another show. Hopefully, maybe by Saturday, we will see. And tentatively, South Carolina and then Ole Miss for our next couple of shows. So looking forward to those. It's been a weird night, but a good night. Appreciate you both.
Always.
Everybody, have a wonderful night and roll tide.
Roll tide.